curated the venerable Venice Biennale in Italy. This year, African artists are the focus of a major art show in New York City. Africa 54 Zoe Leoudaki went there to check things out.
African art and artists from the continent and the diaspora are the focus of a major art show here in New York City, the Armory Show. The exhibit is a venerated New York tradition that for 22 years introduces newcomers to the international art market and solidifies or even enhances the sales record of established artists. This year, 205 galleries and dealers from all over the world showed the work of over 2,000 artists to a large number of visitors. I arrived a few hours before the official opening to find out what was different about this show this year. Well, this is the first time the Armory included a show devoted to African perspectives, curated by Julia Grosse and Yvette Mutumba.
One of our main ideas was to really present a rich variety of positions. So, photographers, installation artists, painters, artists who work with sculptures, etc. And to have a lot of young artists, young positions, so born between late 70s, early 90s. And really to underline this idea of African perspectives means, artists coming from others living in Joburg, in London, in New York. All of them, not African artists, but from African perspectives.
Often, the art market creates hype, focusing on art from different places to move ideas along and create new markets.
We see it as a really good thing because it brings forward all the interesting things that are happening on the continent and the diaspora in terms of young artists, critics, art spaces. And so I think it's a good moment, really, to just make visible what has been there for a while, though. It's not like something that just happened.
Of course, it has always been a big interest in buying contemporary art from African perspectives. Of course, at the moment, everybody's talking about a hype. Everybody wants to grab a little piece of that cake. There are a lot of local buyers as well in, each country's communities. Let's say Nigeria has a big, collector scene, and it's not only that, Western collectors fly in and buy the stuff. A lot of Chinese or Asian collectors are interested in buying art from African perspectives now as well, now that they have, doing business with Africa.
Excitement is high for Addis Fine Art, the youngest art gallery in the mix and a first-time participant in the Armory Show.
We're showing a solo booth of an artist called Emmanuel Tagana. He's a young painter who lives and works in Addis Ababa. And as you can see, he uses this really bold, colorful aesthetic to talk about social experiences that he's had.
Emmanuel Tagana's art talks about racism, often symbolized by the image of a banana. He also uses the image of a razor as a metaphor for hypocrisy in the political system.
Well, we're hoping to really showcase artists from Ethiopia. That's the main aim of our gallery, to have a local space and to have an international platform for the artists that we represent. So participating at the Armory Show and in wider other art fairs is a key component to our works.
Both Julia Grosse and Yvette Mutumba aspire to make art with an African perspective mainstream, to the point that people think about the art and not necessarily the origin of the creator. Zoe Leoudaki for Africa 54, New York.